All right, guys, so relax, sit for a little bit because tonight I am going to give you a little preview of my new subscription, which is called the Black Archives. Okay, so this is the darker side of spirituality, the obsession, the manifestation, right? Especially the manifestation culture, the occult history, and the human behavior. Now, the Black Archives is going to be this monthly storytelling subscription where we're going to explore real unsettling stories connected to love spells, cult manipulation, right? Spiritual obsession, spiritual psychosis, right? Toxic spiritual communities, paranormal folklore, and the psychological side of magic and belief. Now, inside this subscription, once it's ready, you're going to receive 4 stories a month loaded probably every Friday that you can listen to, that you can fall asleep to, right? And you are also welcome to email me your personal stories that you may have, and you can do that by sending them to lightwitchtarotshop@gmail.com. Okay, so today we are talking about the energy of, let me pull it up. We're calling today's story Spells Gone Wrong, the dark side of manifestation. Okay, so this is one of those stories that stops being spooky and starts becoming genuinely sad and disturbing. Now, a lot of people romanticize love spells online. They think it's just candles, roses, attraction, oils, and suddenly your ex comes crawling back to you, crying in the rain, or they're gonna call you, they're gonna unblock you. I can't tell you all the crazy things that I've seen, especially on the TikTok side. I have seen people telling you on a live to buy this candle, trabajo for $90, and your ex will unblock you anywhere from 24 to 72 hours, right? I have seen a lot of crazy things. Me as a practitioner and curandera for the last 30 years, I have received clients that will offer me thousands of dollars if I just do this love spell. They need to have this person, and I have turned them down because I don't want to do that, and I don't want you to go through what you're about to go through, right? So when we look at love spells, right? Real obsession is not romantic. Real obsession is psychological. It is a disease, okay? To the point that if you feel you cannot live without someone, your life is never going to take off. That is not love. That is psychological, right? Now, there was a real case involving a woman, which I'm not going to say her name, and she had reportedly been trying to leave her marriage. And according to investigators, her husband became deeply, deeply obsessed with keeping her from leaving him, okay? Now, this is where the story gets dark, okay? Investigators later found searches, conversations, and reports connected to spell work and rituals that were allegedly meant to make her stay emotionally attached, right, to him and dependent on the relationship. So this man went to spellcasters, right? And he started paying for all of this work to be done to keep her there because he did not want her to leave. Now, and honestly, this is the part that people do not talk about enough, okay, when it comes to coercive love work. Because once your mindset becomes, I need this person to stay no matter what, you stop focusing on love. That is no longer love. But once you become, I need this person in my life, I want their life to be destroyed without me, you have to literally stop and reread that email that you sent me or that voice note that you're about to send me and listen to yourself. Because if you don't capture it, I will lightly, respectfully tell you, you don't need no spell. You need therapy. And I have done this many times. I have done this over 20 times. And in these archives, we're going to go through some of the stories, right? And what the length that people will go through just to have this person back, right? Now, it becomes control, right? It becomes fear. It becomes possession, obsession of something that we need to have, right? And people online will joke about this stuff like, oops, my love spell worked too well. Right? So they're offering you, oh, you buy this candle for $120. No. Something that you will not see in my story is anything to do with that, right? Now, there are real stories where relationships become emotionally suffocating afterwards. Constant jealousy, surveillance, manipulation, emotional dependency, stalking behaviors, rage when someone tries to leave, or even, you know what I'm talking about? Not because a candle magically possessed somebody, okay? But because obsession feeds obsession. Okay, so we are not going to ever be blaming witchcraft on this, because I do rituals, I do spells, I've been doing this for decades, okay? And we're not blaming that. What happens here is the person's mindset. What happens here is when you have a spellcaster who is not grounded and they're acting on spiritual psychosis. So they're acting in a way that kind of says, I am higher vibrational than everyone else. I am, you know, it's almost like a cult mentality. I am better than you. I am stronger than you. You know, that is scary itself. So it doesn't matter what candle they're burning. It's what spirits they're calling. Who on the spirit side you're messing with, because if you don't have spirits working with you on the other side, what are you doing? You can't just call upon Lilith and just have her do things for you. It does not work like this. But a lot of times obsession will guide a person to Google a spell and follow that spell and then wonder why their life is falling apart. Okay, and when I read all of these things and I research all of these things, it's pretty creepy, right? Because it is the power of how your mind plays a major role, right? Now, obsession feeds obsession, and personally I think that's where the real danger happens, right? When someone stops accepting another person's free will, so they start trying to spiritually force an outcome at all costs. I don't care if you don't want me, I want you, okay? I don't care if you don't want to be around me, I want to be around you, my life depends on you. That is creepy. And me and you could see that easily, but other people, it's just, oh, you don't understand, I just want him so. And if you think about the movie Practical Magic, they showed that, a metaphor about that. How when he came back, he wasn't the same, all right? Now, the energy can get very dark very fast, and honestly, I've seen this mindset outside of magic as well. People trying to manifest specific people while ignoring massive red flags, right? Incompatibility, toxicity, or even emotional abuse because they are convinced this person belongs to me. They are convinced that I see the best in them. I don't care if you get bad vibes from that person. I don't care if that person cheated on me 20 times. He is the one. You see what I'm saying? Right? And that desperation wears spiritual clothing. Because once again, that's not love anymore. And the creepiest part about stories like this is that sometimes people become so consumed by fear of abandonment that they lose themselves completely. That's why grounding matters, discernment matters, mental health matters, right? And respecting people's autonomy matters, because not every spell backfire story looks like a horror movie. Sometimes it looks like obsession slowly destroying someone's life, okay? And honestly, I think that's much scarier. So if you enjoy these topics of little things like that that will take us through the dark web, I would suggest signing up for this subscription. It should be ready sometime by tonight. Let me know if you would like to share your personal story with me. As I said, you could email me lightwitchtarotshop@gmail.com, and you could find the subscription at Lightwitch Tarot Shop. So thanks for hanging out with me. I love you.